where did this come from? Why did you decide to do this?
Well, my friend Cal and I, we just had this feeling that, like many people around the pandemic, there's an entire generation of millennial men that decided to try content creation during the pandemic. And sadly, we were one of them.
Do you know how you're starting this? Is there a planned intro, or
it's just the same old shit we always do? Oh my God! Did you hear about this though? Have you heard about Milli Vanilli?
I know that they were set to play the 250 year celebration, backed out.
Yeah, so it's just fab now. It's like, obviously, but he was going to play the 250th, backed out with everybody else. But guess where he's playing now? The Gathering of the Juggalos.
I feel like we can look back and say, like, we had our finger on the pulse of some kind of weird culture, bad music culture. I don't know.
We are at the center of a cosmic simulation, and it has only gotten more and more creepy. It's just the number of someone should make a compilation, the number of coincidences and random things that we've presaged in the lifespan of this podcast.
It makes me wonder if all of the world's governments are intertwined through shitty American music for whatever reason.
Yes.
And you can predict world events by looking at what Billy Ray Cyrus is doing at any given time.
The Illuminati is just a programmer from 90s VH1. Just that just somehow managed to entrap all the billionaires and all of the people who direct global finance.
Yeah, I feel like with the algorithms and shit, it's not that weird. I think we are more of a hive mind than we've ever been.
Well, everything is just kind of, collectively melting into one genre, one, global culture. Yep. Everybody just thinks and feels the same things. You go to any retail establishment and it's the same 20 songs in every single store all the time. It's just, we've just become a shitty monoculture of ourselves. It reminds me of how, what do we know about the ancient Sumerians? It's like we have like a 100% of all the writings and that they ever did about their own culture. We have to extrapolate based on that. We're just doing the same thing to ourselves. We're shedding so much of the great shit that we ever made.
Well, and that's why a Milli Vanilli can play a Gathering. Like, genre doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it's just like,
they're like, people who make fun of the same shit we make fun of, lump them together, and that's enough.
Everything that happens now is just God deciding, wouldn't it be funny if autocomplete. Welcome to Polishing Turds with Nick and Cal. My name is Nick.
And I am Cal.
And this is the show where, what do we do here? What is this show about, Cal?
Diving into the wonderful world of bad music.
That's correct.
For one, I had to think about it. That's how long it's been since we've recorded anything.
Yeah, we're a little out of practice here, but I got to say, it's been 6 months at least since we've done this.
Yeah, man. If Coroner and Warning can make a new album 20 years later, and it's actually good, so can we record one episode half a year later.
We are not above shitty fan service reunions and just branded Netflix specials.
And could we really end it on Kids Bop?
No,
we need to give some type of dessert.
No, and that is really what this is all about. You see, this is a very special episode of Polishing Turds. Many months ago, we announced that Cal was going to be stepping away from this podcast, but we never really got to do a proper send-off. And that's why I kind of brought, this whole thing together. So, Cal, just, it's been a while. How has your life in exile been?
Man, I wish I could say it's restful, but no,
I know for a fact it isn't.
It has been a constant reminder why I had to stop. It was the right decision at the time.
Yeah, I mean, you between the two of us, you have a big boy job. You are the reason a lot of people's lights are on.
Well, it's just also even when you have that kind of job, it's just a tough time in America. I think business feels different right now than it did when I was early in my career.
Yeah,
times are changing.
It's certainly a rough one, but and I know the fans all miss you. We still hang out, but I miss hearing your voice in the podcast. And just as a reminder, just because Cal isn't doing episodes regularly anymore, that doesn't mean that Polishing Turds is over. I've been making YouTube videos. I've put out a few since the start of the year. I'm gonna have another one ready, probably hopefully around the time that this episode gets released.
Nice.
So we're still making stuff. You and I may do some random one-off thing.
For sure.
Together in the near future. So the brand Polishing Turds is alive and well.
I guarantee. I've done this many times in my life. I will get a creative itch again.
Yeah.
You get bored. You got to do projects.
We've always kind of done that. We've known each other for over 25 years, as crazy as that sounds. And we've always just occasionally done creative things together. It's always just been kind of random and whenever we feel like it.
Fucking middle school.
Yeah.
We have VHS tapes of a show we made.
Yeah.
That
you will never see them.
No, you won't. But weirdly, even in middle school, I don't think our humor was that different.
No.
We just refined it. It's less random bullshit now.
No, we've always just been little assholes who like to make fun of things. And that's...
Most of my jokes came from a certain window of seasons of Simpsons, and that's...
And when we conceived of the idea for Polishing Turds, I'm trying to remember exactly how it started. I believe it was in late 2020. I believe we may have been watching the Bears. We were almost certainly drinking, and we just thought it would be fun. The original idea was we were going to do a show about one-hit wonders, but we play their entire discography.
Yeah.
And that's why Baha Men pretty much came out the way it was.
I actually do think that was the thought experiment. We were talking, we were like, I wonder what the rest of Bahaman stuff sounds like.
Yes.
Is there more stuff? And that started the whole thing, kind of.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the concept, and that kind of evolved to, bad music, and that kind of evolved to just weird music and weird things that happen related to music in general. But we never imagined that this would be a lasting thing with regular fans and people from Germany messaging us regularly. It's fucking crazy how much this thing took off.
We're just Midwestern dudes, and we're not internet savvy at gaming the algorithm. This thing had much more success than I think we anticipated.
No, it's just and it's been a pleasant surprise every step of the way. You guys have encouraged us, promoted us, shilled us to your friends, your social media. You've made us, more intelligent people and better podcasters, better comedians. And so while this episode is largely about celebrating Cal, it's also about celebrating you. Just all the things that you have done to support us and make this very laborious endeavor worthwhile for over 5 years. And we thought, what better way to thank all of you than to answer your questions, the burning things you've been dying to know about us and our process. And, God help you, the fact that you care about anything we think about anything. But this is the first and, let's face it, last Polishing Turds Ask Us Anything.
I am excited to get into it. I was surprised, actually, at the volume of questions from all of you.
Yes, I'm honestly not. I've known our fan base pretty intimately. I knew we were going to get some very thought-provoking questions, and we did. So without further ado, let's get to the questions. And by the way, number one, these questions are all going to be anonymous. I just felt that was just better for people. And number two, I wish we could get to all the questions that people put in when I put out feelers, but unfortunately we just don't have that kind of time. So
you can put all that blame squarely on me. I'm not going to edit 4 hours worth of podcast.
Yeah, no, that's too much. But everybody who didn't directly get their question directly addressed in this episode, I'll try to reach out to you in private. So here we go. First question. I know Cal is a huge metalhead, so I'm curious. Who are Cal's favorite metal bands, and what subgenre is his favorite?
This person is my favorite.
Yeah.
It's finally my time.
This is where 75% of the length is going to come down to.
I tried so hard. I was like, I got to keep this short somehow. I will lead into this just by saying, if you're ever truly curious of like all the shit I listen to, go to rateyourmusic.com. It's heavy_metal_forever. And add me. There you go. I got a million lists on there. Just shit I think.
Yes.
I don't know. To keep it short, I love the question. I appreciate it. It's a little hard to answer because I listen to so much metal, and like a lot of these bands have one good album. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to recommend them as a favorite. So I guess I would say, like, if you're not already listening to like Metallica and Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, start there. That's always like the classics.
Yeah.
It's hard to say my favorite anymore. I listened to them to death. I killed them for myself in high school.
Let's imagine that, let's say there are 3 little Japanese girls that you have to teach how to make metal music. How do you get them into this genre?
Exactly. That's kind of where you start. That's the building blocks. I like the subgenre question because that one I can actually answer. I would say modern day Cal, probably black metal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it worth? I don't want to go into what all the genres are. If you know, you know.
It's enough to explain to a normie the difference between black metal and death metal.
Yeah, I mean, it really it comes down to when I was a kid, I was obsessed with how hard is it to play on guitar was like mainly my criteria. Yeah. But as I got older, and in terms of what modern bands are doing, that's really the only subgenre where like boundaries are still being pushed at all. Mm-hmm. It's just been the most interesting, and as I get more interested in like atmosphere and songwriting versus just riff fests, black metal's kind of scratched the itch. And then I guess if you want a few just favorite bands, I guess some of the all-time favorites, Nick, you probably agree with a lot of these.
Yeah.
Opeth is huge. Boris, Agalloch, Neurosis is very good. That's actually kind of a recent discovery.
Neurosis is terrific.
And then if you have specific like genres you like, again, I just go look at my page. It's hard to say. Lately, I guess I'll shout out one band, the most underrated death metal band ever, The Chasm, or The Chasm. I don't know how.
I haven't heard of these guys.
They're from Mexico City, and I think their biggest problem was geography. Like,
yeah,
they were so good. They have like a 5-album run that's just amazing. So check them out. You can't go wrong. All the discs are good. So there, I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Otherwise, I could just go past what anyone would want to listen to.
All right. Well, I definitely recommend finding Cal's Rate Your Music page because you've got that top 50 black metal albums. That
I have it by genre.
That. Yeah.
I have a top 50 thrash, top 50 death. I have a few random lists, just like ranking bands' discographies, and then I'm working on one. Speaking of side creative endeavors, it's just called 69 metal albums I want to talk about.
Nice.
There's no order or anything. It's just random albums that I picked.
It's a good number.
And then the number 69 is funny, and that's the only logic behind it.
I love it. We're going to link that page in the show notes for sure. All right. Next question. If you could have one person you covered in the studio, who would it be?
Oh, shit. That's a great question. I'm assuming we have to draw from who's alive. So
let's do 2 versions. 1, anybody living or dead. 2, limited to living people.
It's hard to actually say that because, like, let's say we brought in baby metal. I'm so curious about this stuff, but do they speak good enough English that it'd be?
Oh, they speak great English at this point.
Okay,
like at this point, they're all pretty much fluent.
I guess my answer in either scenario is probably Shaggy and Violent J.
That was one of mine. Yeah.
Just because, like, I feel like we kind of get them.
They'd be so much fun. Like, I feel like we would just vibe the fuck out with them.
Yeah.
That was my, in terms of living people, my first answer was Jay and Shaggy. Maybe Billy Ray if I'm feeling up to it. He feels like a wild card. He just feels like he's completely crashing out at this point.
And he's not going to give you honest answers. He learned from that one horrific Disney interview or whatever it was. Yeah, he's not going to say anything.
Although he might if you got him drunk enough, which seems to be something he does a lot these days.
Well, like, and that's where part of me wanted to say Milli Vanilli, just because, like, I don't know, I feel like I'd have so many good questions.
Fab would be a very fascinating guy to talk to. He seems like he's a guy who's been through a lot of shit, and he's come out the better for it, in my opinion.
Maybe Wesley Willis or the Shags. Again, you don't know what you're going to get.
You stole my my dead guy one, but that was like if you had to limit it to anybody living or dead, Wesley Willis, hands down. It'd just be so much fun, and you'd be in for a ride no matter what. All right, this was a tough one for me, but what's the first bad song you remember hearing as a kid?
I know I got to give it an annoying two-parter. It's if we're counting stuff that at the time I liked, unfortunately, and I just didn't know better. I probably got to go with like Hanson, Mbop.
Okay. Oh God, yeah.
But then if we're talking about like first songs I knew was bad, even by my own taste, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
The first one that popped in my head was LFO, Summer Girls. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, I hated that.
That was like one of the first songs I remember, even as a kid, being like, fuck that shit.
It's just like I knew it was not for me, and I knew hearing a guy sing Chinese food makes me sick is a lame lyric, even at what 11 or 12.
And like none of the lyrics made any sense with each other, and even in middle school I noticed that, and like I had never set foot in Abercrombie and Fitch. I wasn't. It just was not for me.
No, it just felt lame and cheesy, and I feel like there's a reason that song doesn't crop up on like the nostalgia playlists a whole lot.
No, we're all like embarrassed. It's not even fun bad. It's just kind of like, ugh.
No, it was the peak of lame corporate 2000s pop for sure. So I interpreted this as like, what is a song you remember hearing that you recognized was bad at the time? I'm not going to count like Barney or children's music or anything like that, because I want to say I didn't like most of that. Like there must have been a time at like 3 or 4 when I vibed with it, but I definitely hated Barney by the time I was 7. I know that.
Everyone.
Yeah, I know that because I remember getting in a fight with my sister at around that age because she still liked it. But the first like proper like adult music that I remember hating, I was originally going to say Spice Girls, but you mentioning Mbop reminds me, and that's got to be it. I hated Mbop as a young kid, and all the girls in class loved it, and that's what drove me crazy. And that was like just the fire that burned through the rest of my adolescence.
And that fire gave us the Good Charlotte episode. I mean, that never went away.
Right? Like that was like there. I knew at that point that there was like a schism between what I liked and what mainstream culture, and it's what especially the girls liked. And I knew that I would never be normal hearing that music and reacting the way I did. I knew I was gonna be a fuck up for life.
I had a similar experience in it was like a first or second grade dance. And it was that situation, and they were playing Spice Girls, and people were out there dancing, and I realized I have no clue what to fucking do.
Like, fuck this
I had the
shit.
same realization you had of like, I don't think I fit in, like, in the planet.
Yeah. And then, unfortunately, when Kid Rock and Limp Bizkit came around, we were both like, oh yeah, this is where I'm at.
Finally, someone gets me.
So yeah, good question. I can feel this one, Cal. Please do a quick wellness check on how Trace Cyrus's legendary musical legacy has evolved since the last update.
I'm glad somebody cares about old Trace.
Literally one person who isn't named Trace Cyrus. Literally, Trace Cyrus is the only person in the Cyrus family that cares about Trace Cyrus's musical career. So I'm glad this person is falling on that sword. Cal, do you happen to recall the song that we played the last time we updated everyone on Trace?
Yeah, that was arguably... That was in the bottom 5 songs we've ever played on the show.
Yeah, it was called Cowgirl Ride. It's a country rap song. It's really horrible.
Even by country rap standards. It's not even good at being the worst genre that exists.
No, it makes Morgan Wallen look like Johnny Cash. It's pretty horrible. Although... I found one quote where he claimed it was, quote, one of the greatest country songs of all time.
God damn.
Like, and then he claimed that he would follow up that single with the greatest country album of 2025. But thankfully, as of today, that album is yet to materialize. So... Since then, he didn't make it as a country guy, so he's kind of falling back, it seems, on the one that brung him there, which was pop punk. So he has a new single called Cry Your Eyes Out. And Cal, with your permission, I'd like to treat our audience to a little sample of this.
All right, let's do it.
So, Trace Cyrus, Cry Your Eyes Out.
Sorry to complain about it. You seem to suffocate me, prisoner to my mistakes, and I just can't break free. Fell too hard, can't let go. I guess we're both just changing. I'm feeling like a ghost, just disappearing lately. Cry your eyes out when you're alone. Romance turns deadly. I had to let you go, and the regrets are just a fading memory. Young and in love, but now you're not a friend of me. Cry your eyes out when you're alone.
Oh my god.
You get the idea.
I mean, it is a step up. I mean, he had the bar in hell, but so it's better than that song.
Yeah, that's a simple Plan B side,
Man, that he is 100% that guy who just surrounds himself with people who tell him he's cool, and the second you tell him his country song wasn't that good, you're out of the party and you're gone.
I'm pretty sure he blocked our Instagram account. I don't know what I said. I probably said something snarky at some point, but just the fact that he would take time to do that. I've seen this guy reply to people on Instagram and on YouTube. He goes into the comments.
Oh man, that's internet mistake number 1.
He's so insecure. I know that he's a millionaire, and he definitely on a technical level has more listeners than we ever will, but making fun of him still feels like punching down.
A little bit, man. Yeah, he's like a captivity show creature that just had no chance.
Yeah.
This is his one thing in life he thinks is success, so if an internet person says something mean, it's gonna destroy him.
Yeah, so there you have it. He is back into pop punk. He said that song would be the lead single of a rock album, but that album too, thankfully, is yet to materialize. Also, weirdly enough, Miley is credited as a co-writer of that single.
Okay, well, he must have recognized that he needed to talk to the family members with talent.
Yes. So either that, or he's hoping that just an algorithm search bump will help kick this song up a little bit.
Well, and I think that's the reason it feels like punching down. He with the Cyrus bump, yeah, he's gonna have a base level of listeners, but without it, it'd be.
I mean, he believes the opposite, right, Cal? There was that famous quote where he said that he would be more successful as a musician if he didn't come from a famous family.
That is levels of delusion I can't wrap my head around.
You don't need to add any commentary to that. It's so transparently sad, you know. But, you know, when it comes to the Sci-Ri, it's not the music, but the drama that keeps us coming back for more. So, as many of you know, in January of 2025, following Billy Ray's disastrous performance at Donald Trump's inauguration, go look that up, it's hilarious. Trace penned a heartfelt letter to his dad, who appeared at the time to be struggling. He said, "Dad, the day you adopted me was the happiest day of my life. Sadly, the man I wanted so desperately to be just like I barely recognize now. It seems this world has beaten you down. It's become so obvious to everyone but you." So he could see, you know,
I mean,
crash out in others.
Yeah, in weird Trace Cyrus land, that was very touching. That's from the heart.
Yeah, and I'm sure he means it, you know. He also claimed in that letter that Trace claimed that he had been sober for a year and a half, and he begged his dad to follow suit. I don't know if any updates on Trace's sobriety, but I know for a fact that has been a problem for him and something he has actively worked to recover from. But you know that the problem is, like, the Cyruses just can't stop spilling the tea. So after Trace penned that letter, Trace claimed that Billy Ray threatened to sue him over it.
Why? Because he's like implying publicly that Billy has a problem. Is that the issue?
I think it's defamation of character, I suppose. Okay. And then in June of that year, Trace spilled some more family tea, telling a story about how Billy Ray allegedly refused to attend Trace's grandmother's funeral because he was at a fashion show in Italy.
Hey, you gotta pursue your interests.
I mean, what's more important, honoring your loved ones, or, you know, seeing the brand?
She would have wanted me to go. She would have wanted me to go.
She would have wanted me. She would have wanted me to see, you know, those nice leather pants. Yeah, I need an excuse to bring back the Billy Ray voice. And then just a couple of months ago, this is truly just, you know, slinging mud around in the gutter, but Trace posted an Instagram story where he claimed that his older sister Brandy rented him a house that was infested with mold and all sorts of other problems. So
why would you publicly air this out? That seems like a Cyrus problem that they need to handle.
I mean, yes. You know, I guess he's just trying to leverage the groundswell of support so that, you know, thousands of people will pick it outside
Just see
Brandy's
that, Brandy?
house.
I got the internet mad at you. That's how it works nowadays, right?
Like, you know, and I saw some of the pictures he showed, and it does look like there's, like, you know, like some mold problems in the house, but how do you not do an inspection before you rent it out?
Right.
It seems like she's doing him a favor. Like, if I'm reading between the lines here, but it seems like he must have really needed a place, and she had, like, well, I got this shitty old place that no one else is going to buy. Okay, Trace, you can live in my apartment. But yeah, it's just, he's always ripping on his own family members, and there is, like, definitely a schism in the Cyrus family between, like, generally it's like Billy Ray and his children Noah and Brazen on one side, and Tish and Miley and Brandy kind of on one, and then Trace is off by himself.
Yeah, he's on his own island.
Yeah,
he's their RFK Jr.
he's the RFK Jr. of the Sci-Ri. Oh, that's perfect. So yeah, I mean, you know, I hope he does well, but I also hope we don't have to hear any more music from him.
Yeah, no kidding.
I really don't want to do any more updates on this guy. All right, next question. Do you have any statistics about where your listeners are located?
I mean, in theory, yes.
Yeah.
You know, our site that hosts this gives a readout that has been fun to watch through the years.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we've learned through the years, or at least I've noticed, some of it's got to be VPNs, though. Like,
Yeah.
we started and I was kind of naive. I'm like,
no way
oh,
we have
wow.
that many listens from Vietnam.
Right, exactly. Like, this guy from Vanuatu listens to us. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, I know how VPNs work. That's not what that is.
Yeah, for sure. But we can say, like, almost for sure that around 30% of our listens come from outside the U.S. And that has been the single biggest surprise for me listening to... in the whole experience of doing this podcast is how many non-American listeners we have. And if you really pulled, like, just the diehard ones that I have contact with regularly, it's probably like 50%.
Yeah. That admittedly, that was my favorite part of doing the show. Getting the international emails. I don't know. That just felt cool.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, we're talking Germany, Ireland, Sweden, Turkey, South Africa. I don't understand it to this day. I don't understand, like, what, because our references are so America specific. Like, really just our generation and our race and our class specific.
That might be what it is. It's like an outsider's perspective, like Jane Goodall observing.
Like, it's an anthropology for all y'all.
Wow,
Like,
these guys talk about, like, cheese and beer a lot.
it's like
Really specific 2000s references.
Yeah, so if you're doing some kind of school report and you really need to know what American, millennials in, South Central Wisconsin are, like, listened to in the 90s, like, we're your reference point, I guess.
We're the beings Simpsons created. We're the product.
And, within the U.S., the biggest cities that crop up on our Buzzsprout statistics are Chicago, Minneapolis, Madison, Denver, and L.A. I know for a fact there are some genuine fans in all those cities. Some of it might be, or probably is, VPNs. Mm-hmm. And then... as far as non-American audiences go, it goes UK, Canada, Australia, Germany, Vietnam, Sweden, and Ireland in that order. Again, how do you account for VPNs? I don't know. But still, it's just really fascinating how much support we've got from all around the country and around the world. Predictably more in the Midwest, it seems, but that's kind of
that makes sense
from the start.
Yep.
Somebody asked, which country has the worst music in your experiences? Alternatively, if it's the U.S., which state?
I feel like there's no way to answer this question and not piss someone off.
Oh, no.
So I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't like music from the Middle East. The whole thing.
Really?
I don't. I like that Hungarian minor scale they use. I think it's something about the tonality of the instruments. Like, it hits my Western ear wrong. Just not my favorite genre of stuff.
Okay, actually...
Worst, though, maybe is not... I don't like it is probably more correct than objective worst. Because they have some crazy stuff they do in their music.
No, it's fascinating. And in the occasions where they have tried to combine, their musical arrangements with Western sensibilities. There's a CD I got a long time ago. It was a compilation of Pakistani rock music from 1963 to like the 70s, like basically before all that kind of stuff got banned.
I think you played me this once.
I think I did
that
a long
rings
time
a
ago.
bell.
Yeah, and it's actually really good. And there have been some Turkish composers and rock and jazz musicians that I've really liked. I don't know. I don't agree on the Middle Eastern
It's
stuff.
just hard because I don't think there's... The real answer to me is I don't think there's a single country I can point at and be like, everything you guys made has sucked.
Yeah.
I don't really feel that way about anywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan of Bollywood music, and that might just be because it doesn't register with me. I don't have the cultural tools to be able to break it down well enough. So like I'll never get into Bollywood films or the accompanying music. It'll always feel silly to me, even though I know intellectually it's not. The way that I interpreted this question was I was kind of coming at it from like the kind of bad music we talk about, like cringy pop
who's
music,
making corny shit all the time.
And I would say I don't like any Eurovision song that I've ever heard.
That's what I was actually just going to think. I was like, Sweden and Norway would be pick onable from that lens.
Yeah, I like ABBA. Like ABBA's really good, but like European pop music, writ large, I've never been able to get into.
Agreed.
And especially the kind of stuff that gets on Eurovision, I could care less about it. Now they make up for it in metal.
That's just gonna say, like, most of the bands on that first question are from that area of the world, so I can't say them.
Yeah. But if I had to pick a country that's making the most bad music, I would say it is the U.S. And I would say specifically, not even just a state, but a city, Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep.
That is the Mordor where all evil comes from.
I can get on board with that.
Because
you're right. Actually, what pisses me off far more than Middle Eastern music is U.S. modern country. So
yes, and they are the factory that produces like all the cheesy, schlocky, pandering country. I'm not saying that country can't be good. I'm just saying that Nashville makes it worse.
Yeah,
and they've actively been making it worse for 50 fucking years or more.
It's like what McDonald's did to burgers.
Yes, so 100%. So yeah, I think we both can at least land on that. All right. Have you thought about changing the name of the show? Maybe the fecal part of it itches the algorithm the wrong way.
Not even once.
No, I agree. Never. We love the name. Your wife actually came up with the name, and it was hands down the best idea that we had.
It reminds me of there's this British show called Peep Show, and they inherit a bar. Mm-hmm. And Super Hands wants to call it Free the Pedos because he's punk rock, and he refuses to budge on it. And Jez is like, maybe that's not the best name for a pub. And I'm like, that's how I feel about the name of this show. Like, I don't care if it was holding it back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it did, because on the one hand, there might have been a couple of times where like we might have gotten flagged, especially on Facebook. That might have been the reason that our original Facebook account got deactivated, because they're weird about poop for some reason. But I also feel like it's really easy to remember. If I mention it to a friend, if I show them our logo, like it sticks in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like it's a concept a gestalt that resonates with people. And, you can play with it, you can make fun of it, and it invites the listener to not really take us all that seriously.
Yeah, it kind of frames it ahead of time that this is a comedy show and we're not that well researched outside of the music itself.
Yeah, you don't go into it. We're not Pitchfork. You're not supposed to take us that seriously. Yep. So, no, I think Polishing Turds is a great name, and I intend to keep using it as I continue to make videos on YouTube and God knows whatever else we're going to do with this. All right. I am genuinely curious if there are any Turd alumni that have altered your general taste in music, or that you guys would go on to regularly visit and enjoy, ironically or sincerely. Cal, why don't you start with this one?
I think probably a lot more than I would have guessed. Mm-hmm. I don't think it radically changed my taste. I was a notorious music snob most of my early life, and then I did start branching out. But like this show really pushed me to like think of pop differently, in the music industry differently, and even how people consume their music differently than I used to. So like in a grand sense, yeah, I guess specific bands or artists that kind of won me over. ICP might be the only one.
Yeah, oh for sure, yeah.
I mean, a lot of them I have more respect than I did, but you're not going to catch me throwing Milli Vanilli on anytime soon, so.
No, you don't listen to the Baby Metal and Imagine Dragon records I bought for you. Yeah, I agree with that. I will unironically listen to ICP today, like especially the original Joker's card, like Great Milenko and Riddlebox. I will put that on in my car for fun. To this day, it's great stuff, and that whole series surprised the shit out of me in terms of how much I came to appreciate that group in particular. And one thing I've discovered about doing this show is that all of the worst artists have really good taste.
Yeah.
Like through Limp Bizkit, I was able to observe closer Erik B. and Rakim, and like a lot of that old school rap that Fred Durst really loved. And through Kid Rock, I got a greater appreciation for like actually good country, actually good blues rock.
That's a good point. I didn't consider
like Boogie
that.
Down Productions and like all the good old school rap that he likes. Kid Rock has incredible taste in music.
Right. Well, it goes to show kind of what I've learned to appreciate about pop. Like, you're a taste maker. Like, you have to be in tune enough with what's good to know what's going to sell.
Yes.
I don't think making pop is easy, or it's deceptively easy. Like, playing the song live is easy by design. Mm-hmm. But coming up with the earworm and knowing what people in that year are gonna like, that's talent.
No, and we've seen in many cases it results from hard, concentrated work, especially in the case of like Nickelback,
Yep.
that like just, like actively studied, broke down, like, to the chord progression, like every song that was a hit that year, and just tried to figure out how do we do that ourselves.
Yep.
And, and a lot of other, I think Billy Ray did a version of that too. Artists, like, they care a lot about what they're making, and even if the product comes out bad, or just annoying, that's a result of someone who worked very hard
Yep.
to get you to remember it.
Yep. It's like engineering projects that go wrong.
Yeah.
Like, the work was still there.
There's yeah, exactly. Or film, like every horrible film you've ever seen, dozens and dozens of people worked to their very bones on it. I will say that this show has altered my taste in the sense that it's exposed me to a lot of like, third-hand artists that I still listen to. For example, while researching the Viper episode, I learned about the whole Houston rap scene and the Chopped and Screwed stuff. And I'll still listen to DJ Screw to this day. It's great. Through Milli Vanilli, I learned about Boney M, who
Yep.
I genuinely love. Village People, like I got into a lot of really good disco because of trying to learn about it for that series. And probably the biggest one of all is Baby Metal, because, researching the history of Japanese metal, some of the most fun I've ever had on this podcast was discovering, Psy and Maximum the Hormone,
Yep.
and Jism and Green Machine, and just all these, like, in X Japan, and all these terrific bands that country has produced. I'm so glad we did that series. I'm not even sure it's our greatest series, but I'm glad just because of how much I learned about Japan.
That one for sure. I learned a ton about idol industry also, which
Yeah,
changed
that-
my perception of quite a bit.
Yeah, and that was incredible. And then I'm glad that I learned about the idol industry before watching the movie Perfect Blue, which
Yeah, it
might
makes
be
it
the
make
gr-
a lot more sense
yeah,
now.
which might be the greatest anime film I've ever seen.
It's up there.
But yeah, it's really fascinating stuff there. I love this question too. What was the most surprising trivia you found while researching your episodes?
Dude, this was such a hard question. Like, I went back kind of in my head through like every one, and I couldn't actually think of a single fun fact. It's more like, I think every episode or series had something.
Oh, every series had at least one moment where I was just like, what the fuck?
I mean, I will say, like, there was little common threads I found surprising, like how much pedophilia came up in our episodes. And again, we were doing that before Epstein.
Yeah.
And now Epstein it's all obvious now, and it's just like, yeah, I kind of knew from all the turds research.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the more unsettling truths
Yep.
that we've learned, is just how pervasive that is in the music and entertainment industry.
I'll also say, just for like surprises through the life of the show, finding out Viper had a girl trapped in his basement while we were recording that episode that was up there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to address that one as a result of a different question later,
Sure.
but yeah, that was pretty goddamn surprising. These are some ones that I could think of off the top of my head, and I know that if I was able to listen to our whole podcastography, I would have some better answers here. But one fact I like to bring up to people is remember that without Vanilla Ice, there would be no Death Row Records.
Yeah.
Because Suge Knight dangled him off of a balcony and forced him to donate a cut of Ice Ice Baby to him, and then or one of his artists, and that was the seed money that literally gave us, the Chronic and all that shit. So that's one of my favorite ironies of musical history.
I was going to say thanks Vanilla Ice, but I really more thanks Suge Knight.
Thanks Suge.
Yeah.
Sometimes, blatant thuggery, results in a cultural net positive. Also, the entire Kyu Sakamoto story that came up as a result of learning about baby metal, that's a classic example of a rabbit hole that went out of control, and something I've wanted to do a lot more on this show, and thankfully, probably for Cal's sanity, has not. But, I learned that there was like this Wikipedia factoid that one of Baby Metal's albums was like the best-selling Japanese album since 1963. That just set me off like, okay, what happened in 1963? Why? And so I learned about like who had that hit in 1963, and it turned out. And through that, I learned about Kyu Sakamoto, and through that, I learned about the 1960 Unpo protests, just it was just this amazing, cultural, political rabbit hole.
It's all related.
Yeah, it's just
threads on threads.
And that's what I love doing, is connecting dumb music to incredibly serious and important topics. Same thing with like the entire Live Aid saga, is
that was
connected to all that.
Since doing that episode, there's like so much random shit I see that I understand now. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of specific examples of just like artists that were tied to it. I'm spacing the name now, which is undermining my own point. What is the name of the fucking guy from the
Bob
Boomtown
Geldof?
Rats? Him.
Yeah, Bob Geldof.
He started appearing everywhere after we did the Live Aid series.
Yeah, like I didn't know he existed, but no, I agree. I see him everywhere now.
Yeah, it's wild how that can work.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Just some other quick ones. Chad Kroger selling sushi door to door.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's a fun one. The no-armed judge that could have sent Billy Ray to jail but didn't. We
were very mature in the level of jokes we chose to tell about that.
Yeah,
we could have Family Guyed it.
Actually, listening back, we kind of did, and then we apologized for it because it turned out he was a really cool guy.
Yeah, well, then it's all right.
The fact that Billy Ray was starred in a movie called Radical Jack, which I think is the GOAT in terms of bad music movies that we've covered. And also learning in the Space Jam research that Seal once performed for the Chechnyan dictator Ramzan Kadyrov. And apparently this is a pretty common thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, I find that less, again, knowing what we know now with like Riyadh Comedy Fest and shit. Like,
yeah, exactly. But yeah, Seal kind of pioneered the making music for murderous dictators.
These guys need entertainment too.
Yeah. It's like, hey, a check's a check, right? All right. Are there any music artists that mainstream society likes but you think are turds? Alternatively, what are some artists that you like that most people would probably hate? I'll let you start with this one, Cal.
It's too easy to just want to be like all of modern pop. So I don't know. I had to pick a few specifics, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I have a few that I'll just come in with some spicy takes. I decided I would pick on ones that other artists think are very good, and I just don't get it. I'm missing something fundamentally.
Yeah.
So my number one that came to my mind was Sufjan Stevens. Do you know him, singer-songwriter?
I haven't listened to much of him, but what I've heard, kind of meh.
It's like one step, it's like more sophisticated John Mayer or something. Like,
yeah,
it is just too soft for me. It's not, I'm missing something. I guess I'll acknowledge that.
Yeah, okay.
The other one is, there's bands I'm convinced are astroturfed on sites like Rate Your Music.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand the band Geese. Have you listened to them?
Okay, I've heard Geese. Here's my take on Geese is like, if you're super familiar with the source material of Geese, which is like Pavement, Sonic Youth, like no wave music in general. And that's the stuff that I cut my teeth on. So to me, like hearing Geese is nothing special to me because I know Sonic Youth frontwards and backwards. But, you know, to the average Z or Alpha coming up in the world today who's never heard anything like that, if Geese is their baby metal, if Geese is their backdoor avenue to the type of music that I like, you know, then I welcome it.
Yeah.
But by itself, like Geese can't hold a candle to like the alternative bands from the 80s.
And I'm just gonna get my dad joke in here. If you're gonna listen to a bird band, fuck Geese, listen to Swans.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
I got one more. This might be the hottest take. I don't understand everyone's obsession with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I don't think they're bad.
Yeah.
I don't think they're bad. But to be just the absolute darling of 3 simultaneous scenes right now, I just don't get it. It's fine jam music.
Okay, I will acknowledge that nobody can like every King Gizzard record.
Yeah, they're pretty different. That's for sure.
And there's a lot of it, and it's hard to keep up, you know, like, but if you took their top like 5 albums, I'd say
they're good.
They're all really good. And,
well, it's funny you say that because I do have I have a few. Yeah. And I have that Live at the Red Rock set. Mm-hmm. So like I've done my time listening.
Yeah.
And I keep coming back to like, this is like a 6 or 7 out of 10 most of the time. And we're treating it like a 9 or a 10 in all the articles. And
I mean, how many bands are playing actual 70s instruments, playing them proficiently, and, you know, clearly showing an ability to play multiple genres.
Right. And they do have like microtonal guitars they use, and like, no, they definitely are good musicians.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tough question because, again, I've come around to a lot of pop. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to just say like Sabrina Carpenter's a turd. Well, I kind of think that, but I also understand the appeal. It's not for me.
Yeah. She's okay, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, so I had an experience. I found a book of CDs recently, like one of those like CD containers with a bunch of CDs in it, and you know, I just kind of took it. It was in a free public space. Somebody had discarded this. I didn't steal somebody's CDs, but it had a bunch of like albums that I knew I would like. You know, like No Doubt and some like 90s alternative stuff. And then it had Now 54, which, judging from like when what songs are on it, seems to be from like the mid or early to mid 2010s. Mm-hmm. And listening to that album, there's not a single song I could even tolerate. And
interesting.
And I think that the music from like 2021 onwards, I think is a lot better. I think Charlie XCX is capable of pretty proficient pop music. I think some of Sabrina's songs are actually quite enjoyable. You know, like Olivia Rodrigo, it's not for me, but it's real thought out music.
No, I'm with you there. That's why I couldn't just say like, yeah, pop sucks. Yeah. It's more like I don't like it, which is a different thing.
Yeah, we're not supposed to like it. We're middle-aged men.
Right.
You know, but I do think that the median of pop music and quality has improved over the past 10 years. Again, you know, bar was in the toilet, but, you know, like it's not as bad as it used to be. So some bands that I hate that I know that are considered great, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know how spicy of a take this is because I feel like they're starting to get more and more hate. But
yeah, the tide's turned.
Growing up, we were always sold that this is one of the greatest bands that was ever dropped from the heavens. And I'm sorry, guys, they got 2 or 3 good songs, and the rest is just annoying fucking fake funk schlock.
There's no single Chili Peppers disc I like all the way through. Not one.
No. You know, yeah, just there are a few songs that hit, but the band itself is just annoying.
I'm sad I didn't think of that one. You know, that there's someone that could get an episode or could have gotten one.
Yeah.
I think it's like you said, I don't know where the world gauges them yet.
I mean, just based on the number of T-shirts and just the amount of times I've seen Blood Sugar Sex Magic on like greatest albums of like the century, lists, like they're definitely in the canon, but again, I feel like maybe the tide is starting to turn, and rather than us doing an episode, I will refer our listeners to the Pat Finnerty "What Makes This Song Stink" about Danny California, because that is great.
I don't know how you can do it better than that.
Yes.
Yeah, check that video out.
Yeah, he nailed it. Other bands, Aerosmith.
Oh,
I don't like them. To me, classic rock is the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and even Boston and even AC/DC. I like a lot better than Aerosmith.
I completely agree. I was gonna say, actually, I think this is something we always had in common, even from a young age. Aerosmith is the most overrated of the classic rock groups.
Yeah, definitely. And there are just certain songs of theirs I hate, especially the song "Crazy." It drives me. I wish there was a word I could say. Yeah, okay. I won't make that joke. But it's the ultimate schmaltzy Iowa wedding song.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of. I guess I didn't go back to classic rock with my answer. There's a lot of shit I changed, like Bob Seger, the Steve Miller Band. Like there's stuff that I just don't put on the tier of good class. Like I'm gonna change the radio station.
Yeah.
If fucking Steve Miller Band comes on, any song.
Yeah. Steve Miller. I think there's like a famous anecdote where like Miles Davis was supposed to play with Steve Miller at the Fillmore back in the day, and they were gonna have Miles open for Steve Miller, and he was furious about it. That no talent white boy.
Oh man.
Some other ones. This is gonna piss off a lot of millennials and may cause me to never get laid again, but My Chemical Romance. I don't like them.
Same.
I've never gotten them.
I've tried. I legit tried. I saw the rating on Rate Your Music. I was like, well, someone likes it.
Every woman our age that I've ever known is very fond of this band. I never got into them. We saw them live, remember? They opened for Green Day, like during American Idiot.
I don't think I must not have been there for that show. Because I don't think I've ever seen Green Day.
Weren't you there when we saw them for American Idiot? Or was that just like way too long ago?
I don't think it was me.
I don't know. I saw them and I wasn't that impressed. This one, I feel like it is kind of consensus that stomp clap music is bad, but Mumford and Sons.
I knew you were going to say that.
Should never get a revival.
No, no, they suck.
I saw this because, or I say this because I recently read like an article in Vice or some like trendy publication like that was like, was stomp clap music really that bad?
Yes, it was.
Yes, exactly. Yep. No, we have seen throughout the course of this show that every bad music gets a revival at some point. Like happened to Creed, happened to Limp Bizkit, it's happening with Milli Vanilli. It can't happen with Stomp Clap.
No, yeah, we cannot let Fun have a reunion tour.
It's like you guys have to snip this in the bud. That music needs to stay in that decade.
Dude, I hated it then. I hated it real bad when I was going to college in Milwaukee. It just drove me crazy that was what was on in the bar all the time. It was some dude with a waxed up mustache. He would give you something. He'd give you your drink in a mason jar. Yeah. It's fucking Mumford and Sons or something like it.
Yeah, just playing. some fucking mandolin with a doom 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 doom.
Yep.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I'm not at the bar to cling on to my youth with the rest of these people. I wanted to just have a good drink.
Yeah, I want music that makes me think. You know? Makes me feel something. And then lastly, I'll mention another early 2010s staple that everybody loves. Uptown Funk. I hate that song. I didn't like it when it came out. I don't like it now. I'll always be a fucking curmudgeon. I don't think it's technically bad. It's just it got overplayed.
Yeah.
And it just annoys me now.
I don't like any of his songs.
Yeah.
At least the hits. I've never listened to a full album, but the hits are
Well,
not my favorite artist.
I'm not going to ever bother doing a deep dive into Bruno Mars because it's not.
He's
not
already
worth it to me.
gone. He came and went.
No, and he'll be back, but I don't fucking care. All right. Next question: which series was your favorite?
ICP.
Yeah,
I think pretty easy for me. We were a whole bunch of factors lined up perfect for that one. I think your writing was just fucking on point for that series. The band itself and their discography turned out to be super interesting. So there was a lot of wealth of material. And I also just think you and I were just both in a pretty good spot in our own lives. And that translated to the series. We were just having a good time with it. And I had the most fun making that one. And when I go back to listen to our shit, I think that's my favorite of all the stuff we did. I
agree that ICP is our magnum opus because I was really committed. I really was able to dive into the research properly. I was at a weird point in my life. I was recovering from a pretty bad breakup, and I had a new job that was like unlike any other job I'd ever had. And so it was weird, but I was like just kind of getting back on my feet as a human being, but just being able to like dive into this particular band and be so surprised by the depth of their material and so inspired by their story of they really are the American dream. Like Jay and Shaggy, you can make fun of them, but like those guys busted their ass and created an entire subculture out of scratch. How many people can say that?
No, they're the American dream far more than like Elon Butthole Musk or anything like that.
Absolutely. No, like just they're everything that American entrepreneurship is supposed to be. So I recommend that series to anyone who starts out with our podcast. I know it's 7 episodes. It's really long, but each one is great. Each one is worth it. And there are just so many different dimensions you would never expect. And I will say that of the maybe like 24 or so books that I have read for the sake of this series, Violent J's Behind the Paint is by far my favorite. Other series that I've liked, I like doing Kid Rock. I feel like that could have been like 10% better.
Yeah.
But
that was probably my second answer, actually. Kid Rock. That was one when you pitched that to me. I didn't realize the full extent of what Kid Rock had become. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't really convinced it was going to be a good one. It turned out to be one of the best ones.
Yes.
Easily in the top tier. And it got even more relevant as time went on with his continued career.
Yeah, no.
We had him called out and pegged before any of this modern shit.
Yes, like, and he's only gotten worse. He's only gotten more of a punchline, but like just, the evolution of that man's career and his music and his politics is just something fascinating to behold. And then lastly, I will just shout out every holiday special that we've ever done ranks as one of my favorite episodes.
Those are fun.
Yeah, they're all different and they're all really good in their own way.
I think those were our favorite to record.
Yes.
Because we didn't try as hard. So for us, it was just fun.
Yeah, we didn't try as hard, but I always feel like we dug up something really weird and interesting in each one. Maybe the AI one is kind of the weaker of the bunch, but that's just because to me, it's so dark and depressing.
It was hard to leave that episode feeling good about anything.
Yeah.
When we were watching those fake Eminem videos, I was just going like, oh my God, what does the future hold?
Yeah. It's just, very dystopian. So this is kind of similar to the previous question about like bands that we think are overrated, but what are some bands that you love that you think everybody else is going to hate? And if you know us, you know that like we have some pretty out there shit that we listen to.
I actually had trouble narrowing it down in any way, like because I always tend to forget because of who I hang out with, at shows and stuff. 2/3 of what I listen to, I think most people wouldn't want to handle.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff that like if it's in my car and I have to unexpectedly give someone a ride home, I have to pop the
I'm
CD
switching
out.
it. Same.
You know?
I'll give you a funny anecdote about that. This is in one of my lists I wrote. That happened to me when I was 16. I had just bought Transylvanian Hunger by Darkthrone.
Yep.
And I was just getting my feet in what black metal even was. That was heavy and scary for me even back then.
Yeah.
And this fucking normal ass kid that worked at McDonald's with me, like a prep kid who never listened to anything that wasn't on the radio, asked if he could use my car during his lunch. And I was like, sure, yeah, take it. I don't give a shit. When I got back in the car, all the audio had been turned off, and I realized what had happened.
He just slammed the face of the music console.
I still
in
laugh.
terror.
I still laugh about it to this day because there is nothing in his mind that could have prepared him for what that album sounds like.
He calls you. He's like, "Cal, your car's making a horrible noise."
So I could say in general, yeah, black metal, death metal, grindcore. That's just the general ones.
Yeah.
If we're getting specific bands, yeah, I came up with kind of a short list. A big one I know we both like is Earth.
Oh yeah.
Earth is
How would you describe Earth?
It's drone music. So like, I sure hope you like 5 chords over the course of like 18 minutes.
Yeah, it's just,
no drums.
It's just like you know, imagine like the sound of a truck going by your house just for hours and hours.
I view it as the vibration of the earth. Like if I when I listen to that album, I get a mental image of like the obelisk in 2001.
Yeah.
Like just some ancient unknowable thing that I'm just near, that I'm observing. And what's so cool about that album is when you stop, like when you got to flip it or whatever, you're left with like this almost like cosmic emptiness. Like you get used to the drone.
Yeah. It like integrates with your body and like the vibration of your fucking chakra, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that I love Earth. I love listening to drone or stoner or doom metal. But Earth took that idea to its logical conclusion.
Yeah,
and just like focus so much on the heavy, slow, low frequency sound that they create a musical experience.
We got some other ones, you know. Have you heard of Natural Snow Buildings?
No, what's that?
That is a French ambient duo, I guess. Ambient with extras. It's not all entirely ambient. Mm-hmm. They have a 8-hour album called Daughters of Darkness. And I have it on, it's a set of 7 cassettes.
Damn, how long did it take them to make?
Dude, it's legitimately tough to get through, not out of boredom. Like, you put it on, you do other shit. Mm-hmm. But it's uncomfortable music. And you feel like you're witnessing something you shouldn't for an entire 8-hour runtime. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. Like, it's anxiety simulator. And I don't know why anyone would sign up for that, but I love it. I guess one last one. You saw it kind of pop up. I just like a lot of that no wave stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of genres I like that I think most people hate. I like free jazz, which just sounds like a horn section gangbanging each other to most people. Mm-hmm. I like no wave, grindcore. Like I like all those abrasive genres. I like the extreme genres. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, you've turned me on to grindcore, and so like I like Napalm Death. I love the band Dystopia.
That's that genre is one of the ones where when someone says that's not even music, they kind of have a point.
Yeah,
like by design, that's what grindcore is going for.
Yeah, they're just mashing the frets as
how fast can we go? How loud can we make this?
Yeah, and just how much can we freak normal people out?
Yep.
Do you want to do any samples for this? just to give people an idea of.
I suppose we should do some context.
Yeah, let's pick one each just for funsies.
All right, I will play you. You know what? Actually, I got one more, and this is what I would like to play. There's a band called The Residents.
Yeah,
that I love. That
All right.
100% get why someone wouldn't.
Yeah, I love The Residents.
All right, let's play the first one off Duck Stab here. There you go. Play
great
that for your
stuff.
girlfriend.
Play that while you're having sex.
You just reminded me of something that we could cut this if this is irrelevant. Okay, I got to show you something now. Just it's what this kid made a Reddit thread that became the stuff of legends. He said that he had been putting on this song that he really likes over and over for sex, and his girlfriend just hated it to the point where she's ready to leave him. And everybody's like, "Well, what's the fucking song, man? Like, this doesn't seem like a normal reaction. What are you playing?" And he said, "It's this," and he linked this piece of music. This song is legendary now because of this fucking thread.
Oh, I've heard this. Yeah.
This is objectively the worst song to bang to that's ever been written. It sounds like a penis not working. Like, obviously, the thread just became legendary. Everybody's like, "No fucking shit, she's gonna leave." This keeps getting worse. Alright. Sorry, we can leave that if we need to.
No, let's leave that. Leave that in, because like he deserves a medal for maintaining an erection throughout the process of listening to that.
I hope it was all an elaborate troll, but like he seemed genuinely confused that it wasn't sexy.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put on my cynical hat and say that that's the whole story is not real, but it's too damn funny.
It is too fucking
print
funny.
the legend. Let's like canonically believe that did happen.
But yeah, no. Regarding the residents, I understand that that's not most people's cup of tea.
No,
I can't even explain why it's my cup of tea. I wish I knew.
I think the residents, I probably appreciate them more than I like them, because they're really OG in terms of like all weird music. They started in the fucking 60s, and they have a great story. You know, they're totally anonymous. Like no one knows anything about who they were or where they came from. But they've just made a lot of really like weird but clever music. And they're somebody that every music fan should at least know about the residents, for sure. Yeah, Cal, I don't think my answers are going to be as good. Because we've already covered grindcore. Between that and like some like more abrasive hardcore punk from the 80s, like there's stuff that like somebody would hear me listening to it, like Discharge, and they'd wonder what I saw in it. You know,
I almost feel like since let's do a grindcore sample for context, since we've talked about it, let's assume someone might not know.
All right.
A good grindcore song is about 10 seconds long, so we'll play you a song.
Okay, yeah. Let's play like anything from like the first couple Napalm Death. No, yeah, that's what we listen to unironically.
And Napalm Death, believe it or not, is on the listenable end of the grindcore spectrum.
Yeah. No, it's like there's stuff that's harsher and just like annoying by design. But like if you're attuned to the genre and like, know the kind of like the language and the culture of it, you can really learn to appreciate it for sure.
Well, and one thing that surprised my wife through all the years of going to metal shows with me, the grindcore bands are some of the most fun live.
Yeah.
Like, even if you think you hate it, if you're at like a big metal festival or whatever, someone dragged you there, those are the ones I would recommend just for crowd watching. Those crowds go ape shit. The band, they're always tight. It's always a fast set. They don't give you time to get bored.
No. And, we've said this before, but they're always the nicest people you will ever meet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Their personality is always the opposite of what their music sounds like.
The music is the stress relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to find much bigger douches at country shows.
Yeah. All right. So I listen to a lot of like kind of like ambient and noise related music. Cal, have you heard of Uno Tricks Point Never?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
He's really weird and just
Yeah, his music takes a bit to adjust to, with like the glitchiness and like he'll like repeat a sound in a spot. It sounds like it shouldn't. It throws you off.
yeah. It's like it feels like a lot of like sound collage sometimes, but I feel like he takes me to an emotional place that just feels like a dream where you wake up and you can't remember what you dreamed about, but you knew it was profound and you're trying to search for the memory of what happened. That's what his music sounds like to me.
I could see that. I haven't heard the newest one. I heard it was pretty good though.
I listened to only a little bit of it. Like, in some, not all of his stuff is like equally great, but his best stuff is out of this world. Another bands that in terms of bands that people might have actually heard of, we mentioned Sonic Youth. They have a pretty wide discography.
Yeah.
Some of it is more listenable than other stuff, but even like their most renowned material is basically just a lot of purposely out of tune guitars that they just make noise on, and it sounds really harsh, and it definitely takes some getting used to.
I actually remember that as a kid. I was always looking up songs to try and learn on guitar, and I looked up Sonic Youth and I saw what the tuning was, and I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Don't bother.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Like, Sonic Youth cover bands don't exist, just because like they invented their own musical language, and I've always appreciated bands that can do that and do that well. Similarly, a band that I kind of think of as like a Sonic Youth of our generation, Animal Collective. They made music for druggies, and
Yes.
that's how I got into it back in college. And
That is the correct way to approach that band, though.
Yeah. In the beginning, I think they eventually got to a place where their music was listenable enough that normies started getting into them. I remember like around like 2009, 2010, when the Merriweather album came out, normies definitely started paying attention.
Yeah.
And they got like, they almost got like almost like radio play in some spots. And you could listen to that album sober any day of the week. But their early stuff was just straight crazy underground shit. And if you listen to this song that I want to play, you'll wonder, number one, who the fuck would listen to this on purpose? And number two, how did this band, like 5 or so years later, headline fucking pitchfork festivals and shit like that? So let's find the song Spirit They've Vanished.
That's actually my wife's. She can tolerate a lot of extreme stuff. High pitched whining she can't do. If they're like feedback, she hates.
Yeah, I challenge anybody to have sex to that music. It's literally like the opposite of what Earth was trying to do.
Yeah, it is. It's like really high frequency.
Yeah, it's high frequency drone music, and I will say it just needs to be said. If you are on acid while that is playing, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
It just like the specific frequencies and the loops and the way that it's mixed warp your mind into the music in a way that is just kind of transformative. But I have listened to enough Animal Collective that like I can tolerate that, and appreciate what they are trying to build that into musically.
Yeah, it's wild. That's kind of what happens with... I mean, if you're ever catching yourself and something's critically acclaimed and you're listening to it going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's because you haven't listened to enough of that genre.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing with, like, free jazz. Like I was saying, it just sounds like a fucking clusterfuck to anyone who hasn't listened to a bunch of post-pop jazz and a bunch of cool jazz and a bunch of, like, figured out what they're doing here.
Yes. Now, and then, well, when it comes to free jazz, like, I can appreciate what Ornette Coleman was trying to do. Like, it's not my favorite, but like I I feel like it's very hit or miss with me.
It is. It totally is, because it's so improvised.
Yeah.
There are times where it just devolves into noise, and you need to accept it and wait for the form to come back. And like that's difficult.
And that is like, you know, again, to kind of take it back to psychedelics, it's this idea of losing yourself in the ether and you know, and just letting yourself be brought back piece by piece. But no, like, and even with Animal Collective, to your point, Cal, I hated them for like the first year that I knew about them. This was like before the Merriweather album came out, but like I found out about them in like my first year of college, and all these hipster kids loved them, and I didn't. And then it just took a while of listening, and then later listening on drugs to understand what it was all about. And then like overnight they became like my favorite band. So just if you heard any of the stuff that we played and wondered like what is wrong with us or how we could listen to any of that,
consider drugs.
Yeah, number one, do more drugs. Number two, you know, open your mind a little bit, because if you actually pay attention to it, you might end up liking it someday. So yeah, food for thought. All right, we only have a couple more questions, but this one: do you regret making any series?
Regret's a strong word. I mean, no. To answer that strictly, no. There are a few I think were weaker than others. Like I look back, I'm like, maybe we should have picked someone else. Mm-hmm. If I had to pick the two, maybe we just took a stab at it or just did someone else entirely. Probably Avril Lavigne and Good Charlotte.
Yeah.
It just felt, you know, that was a period where we were letting the audience pick. Mm-hmm. And not that you guys picked wrong, it just turns out those...
Well, I'll say also, Cal, I was letting my ex at the time pick.
Well, the problem with those bands is the artists themselves are not wild, interesting, boundary-pushing people.
Yeah.
So the material's just not quite as there.
No.
Like Good Charlotte, the story is, yeah, they started as a business and they ended as a business, parading as a punk group. That's all it ever was.
Yeah. I think Avril actually... isn't that bad, because we got to the Avril Lavigne is dead conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's
really
funny.
And she did have an interesting arc where like she didn't need to be the pop punk princess that she became. She actually, you know, after she fell off a little bit, she flirted with a couple different musical directions. Like she almost went to like contemporary Christian music, you know, and that could have been a lane for her. But she ended up circling back to what got her famous, because she just hit the nostalgia at the exact right moment. You know, so I could have maybe explained that arc a little bit better. But I agree, it's not a great series.
Well, and to be clear, the reason I don't regret it, though, is, you know, if any of you guys take on creative endeavors, they just can't all be bangers. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a few where either like the source material didn't give you what you needed, or... maybe you just weren't in the right mood, but you got to produce something anyway. I don't know. So there's not a single series I look and go, man, I wish we hadn't done that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cal. Like there's some that could have been better. I feel like the last two of Baby Metal weren't great because we were both just kind of burned out. And Iced Earth, I'm proud of what we were trying to do, but like I bit off maybe more than I could chew with trying to explain the entire history of right-wing politics in 2.5 episodes. But
well, actually, I don't know if a fun behind the scenes for you guys. I think that Iced Earth series like kind of wrecked us. That was the hardest one to make because our equipment failed halfway through it.
Yeah, we had to re-record the second episode a few times. And that was rough. But so technical issues aside, you know, like I'm proud of what we attempted in that series, like really trying to push the boundaries of what this entire show is about. But it was a lot, and the research was intense, and you know, and also what annoys me about that series is that we kind of set it up to fail, because we tried to put it out before the election. We failed. Trump won, and then he pardoned all the January 6th protesters. So like the whole thing feels like a weird moot point,
right?
In a way, you know. And we were so distraught by what happened that we didn't know how to react at the time. But but not regardless. Like it's not a bad series. It's just kind of awkward the way that we executed it. I don't regret making any series, kind of with an asterisk about Viper, though.
Yeah, we didn't know.
How could we have known?
Yeah.
We should have known. I knew that he was a creepy, not good guy.
Right.
And that it was kind of maybe not great that we're gushing over him as much as we did, but now knowing what we know now,
yeah,
listening to that feels really awkward.
I don't think we would have made the episode.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have made that episode today, knowing what we know. We'd have to, unless we wanted to just become Last Podcast on the Left.
Right. Speaking of them, I mean, there's also, I think, maybe the first 4 episodes. They've recently been redoing a lot of their earliest stuff because they've acknowledged the quality wasn't the same. I feel that way about the first 4 episodes. Yeah. It'd be fun to, with our modern way we approach the show, have a stab at those again. Yeah. But we knew that. We strategically tried not to choose all the heavy hitters early until we knew we were okay at this.
Yeah, like especially with Nickelback, we wanted to wait until we knew we were good at it to do it. And that, I think, was a wise decision. All right. Who do you think would agree most with your coverage, and who do you think would have the most issues with your coverage?
I kind of like that one. I think there is a few artists we went out of our way to paint a very good picture of. Yeah. I mean, I think the Shags, if they're around, would... Yeah, no. We did a good attempt at explaining what they were going for.
Yeah, that one we covered, you covered very sincerely.
I'm trying to think who else that we were fairly...
Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, that I would agree there.
Yeah, and we really told that story kind of the way that Fab tells that story now. So I don't know about Frank Farian. He might have some issues, but I think he's a deranged narcissist. So.
Yeah, and I could see again, like Good Charlotte, we just didn't say anything that bad. I don't think they'd have much to take issue with.
No, I mean, yeah, other than just us not liking it.
Disagree ones, and maybe ICP would like their coverage.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah.
Dislikes easier because so much of who we cover are narcissists in the first place.
Yeah. Billy Ray, I think.
I think list. Arc Music Factory guy would have issues that we basically called him a pedophile over and over without saying it. Yeah. Fucking Billy Ray. Kid Rock would hate his episodes.
Oh, yeah.
We were not nice to him. Five Finger Death Punch would hate their episode.
Probably Five Finger would be the worst because Ivan Moody is the most egotistical and just the most up his own ass, and we were merciless to them. It's still to this day by far our most downloaded episode. That must just be a weird algorithm hack. But we did not take kindly to them at all. I don't regret that.
No, fuck them.
I still agree with the opinions that we espoused.
Actually, on that question of what bands like our opinion changed for the better, they were the opposite. Yeah. I left that series hating them more than I already did.
Well, especially after I learned that the guy beat his girlfriend and essentially got away with it.
Right.
It's like, fuck them. All right. Are there any big artists you guys never got to cover that you would still like to if the show ever came back? What's the dream turd to polish?
I think you said it. I think Chili Peppers is one of the last ones on the table that we didn't touch.
Yeah, Chili Peppers. I should have more like on hand that I would like specifically to get Cal's opinion on, but I'm gonna pivot this answer into a pitch for please follow our YouTube channel. Because I am making new videos. I am covering other artists that we haven't done on this show. The next one that I cover is going to be about an obscure punk rock band called the Crucifix, who are really interesting because their singer has the most annoying voice I have ever heard in my life. On that channel, I plan on covering them. I want to cover a group called Young Black Teenagers, who are not black. Oh, God. Spoiler. I want to talk about a time that Kim.com made a music video that featured will.i.am.
I remember that.
And since the very first episode, Baha Men, I have been dying to dive into... This one is almost too dark to even talk about, but Jonathan King and the musical he made about his own pedophilia scandal. It somehow is a real thing that a guy did, but that is on the horizon for the new iteration of Polishing Turds. And again, though, who knows? I could feature Cal in one of these, or we could come back and re-record something, but it's just not going to happen for a while.
Yeah, it's I guess if I had one or two, we had discussed doing a boy band episode.
Yeah,
just all of them at once, instead of focusing on NSYNC or something.
You wanted to write a Spice Girls episode.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say next. I think Spice Girls, because that's a cause of some childhood trauma for me.
Yeah.
My sister loved them, so she had all the CDs and then watched that fucking movie that they made.
Oh, Spice World, yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm aware of the Spice World lore. Mm-hmm. Just never got around to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely childhood trauma for both of us. I'll throw out one more before we move on. Okay, they had an album called Age of Consent. What's
Virgin Steel.
Virgin Steel, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys get bored, just check out Virgin Steel's music videos on YouTube, and that'll be enough that you can see why they deserve some coverage here.
Yeah, that is some funny shit.
They're wild too, because they start pretty bad, they get really pretty good for like a stretch of like 4 albums, debatably 5, and then they get really, really inconceivably bad, like to the point where it's hard to watch on YouTube because it's just the singer left and he's a delusional person.
He seems like an incredible character. Yeah, so maybe someday. All right, final question. What advice would you give to anyone wanting to start their own podcast? What are some things you've learned along the way that you wish you knew at the beginning?
Dude, I feel like we learned so fucking much.
I'm going to just say one thing. Don't do anything that we did. I feel like it's like we're not like, Joe Rogan. We fucked up so much.
Yeah,
we've shot ourselves in the foot in so many ways.
So I'll tell one. The very first episode we did, the Bahaman, got recorded 3 times before we got it. Mm-hmm. The reason being, the first time around, it was recording through my laptop mic. Yeah, because I did not recognize that the mixer wasn't registered as the microphone or whatever. Mm-hmm. We recorded the whole goddamn thing without noticing. So then I went to edit it and I was like, why do we sound like shit? Like when we recorded the Discharge demo episode, it sounded way better. What had changed?
Yeah.
And it took, I don't remember why we recorded the full thing again, but that one was fucked up too. And then finally the third time, all the equipment was right and we nailed it.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly the progression of how it changed, but the third time was the charm. The third time was objectively the best take that we did.
True.
And I do think that doing the Discharge episode, which just to catch you guys up, we recorded a demo episode for our own purposes, just to test out the mics and the equipment.
And is this show a viable format?
Yes. Is this viable? Is this does this actually translate into something entertaining? And so we never intended it for public consumption, and we did a band that that we liked and we knew no one else had ever heard of, but it turned out to be a really good idea because we fleshed out a lot of things, even though I think that episode actually stands pretty well on its own. That's why we released it eventually. But I did learn, like certain things about doing that episode that I think we did correct, down the line. Like way too many samples in that episode, and just the way, some things about the way that I narrated it. I've definitely learned how to do better over time.
As I did have 4 bullets I wrote down of my genuine advice for. If you're starting fresh, a lot of this was stuff learned the hard way.
Yeah.
So, going off that Bahaman story, do a little test first. Don't record 2 hours and find out it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Record like 5 minutes, give it a listen. If you're good, start.
Mm-hmm.
I would say save working copies of all your files.
Yeah.
Because this was one I also fucked up on Bahaman. That might have been one of them. Maybe I just lost it like an idiot. So what you do, get your recording, save that, then save a copy before you do anything. You want that raw audio in case you got to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Then do all your audio processing, your loudness and your compressor and all that stuff.
Yeah. That's all the stuff that, by the way, like Cal is secretly a master of audio processing and recording, and that takes just as much work as me doing the writing and research and shit.
Well, it was a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
Because if you go to web pages, you guys have all looked up stuff on forums. They're not always right.
Yeah.
The advice is not always good.
Mm-hmm.
It took a long time to figure out, like compression, for example. There's a few episodes I can tell I had that ratio fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it was too compressed and we sound a little tinny.
There's certain ones.
Wesley Willis in particular. Mm-hmm. Something was off on that one. But anyway, and then save it again after that.
Yeah.
Because I also have had times where I fucked with the audio, edited like an hour of stuff, the actual cutting out our flubs and all that, and then I realized I didn't like the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Basically had to go back because of the order I chose to do that in.
Yeah. I've made that mistake actually on my own doing YouTube videos. I realized I did all the editing before I realized, I forgot to color correct. Oops.
Yep.
So start with the most basic sound elements first.
Yep. Well, then on the note of editing, don't over edit.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the most profound realization for me as the show grew. The first 4 episodes probably I wish I could have back. I was obsessively cutting every little gap in speaking and every breathing noise and mouth noise. And it gives it this unsteady flow. We're almost talking too fast.
Mm-hmm.
You need those pauses, and you every now and then leave a fucked up line.
It doesn't
make
matter.
it sound human.
Yeah, a podcast should sound like 2 guys having a conversation.
Yep. I mostly just by the end I was pretty much cutting out long pause. I'd maybe shorten that breath a little,
mm-hmm.
but not overdoing it, not getting rid of that conversational tone.
Yeah, for sure.
And then my big last one is buy yourself a good mic and a good mixer.
Yep.
There's an actual line in our episodes where you can tell where we upgraded the mics.
It was before Live Aid was the first one with these. We're using 2 Shure SM7Bs. It's the same mic that Rogan uses. It's a really good mic. Mm-hmm. Almost too powerful sometimes because it starts to pick up more of our that kind of stuff. But you can tell the sound quality improved a lot after we bought these mics.
Well, and that's the baseline too. There's nothing you can do in audio processing to fix a bad mic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to sound good, that's kind of your baseline.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, if I have a chance to answer this seriously, it's going to sound generic and hack, motivational stuff, but just go out and do it. You can listen to all these YouTubers and bloggers that tell you how to do podcasts correctly and how to game the algorithm or what kind of stuff is trending or what people are going to listen to. If you're not doing it for you, there's no point in making it at all. If you're not making that's my advice for art in general, no matter what your medium is, make the kind of stuff that you would want to consume. And, if it catches on, great. And if not, so be it. We would have been satisfied if only our immediate friend group listened to this podcast. And I know that because that was our expectation going in.
Oh, yeah. I was literally thinking if we get more than 200 listens an episode, I'll be happy.
Yeah. And it's exceeded that, thankfully, but we fundamentally do this for us. I think you guys can tell that. And that the art that I've always respected has always been people making it for their own sake And a lot of the music that we've made fun of it on the basis that they're clearly trying to pander to
Yep.
as many people as possible. And that might work in the short term, but it gets exposed in the end. So yeah, just, go out, record something, suck, maybe record it again if you have to, do it a few more times, teach yourself how to edit, maybe do vocal warm-ups like we should do so you don't stumble over as many words as I do. But just fundamentally, like anything else, do it for yourself, and it'll be worth it no matter what.
Definitely.
All right. All right, that does it for my list, Cal. I want to think if I have anything for you.
Any profound last words?
Cal, if you could suddenly didn't have to be an engineer anymore to make money, if you could do podcasting full time, let's forget about this show. If you could make another podcast, what would it be about?
I definitely don't have another idea for a podcast. I would do something like this, though, for a living if I had a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem always came fitting it in around the other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I was not trapped working at least 40 hours a week every week, it would definitely be on the list. I'd be doing a lot more creative shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of those guys, I will have no problem retiring. Some guys retire and they don't have to do it themselves.
God, yeah.
I could instantly have projects, whether it was podcasts or writing music or whatever.
Yeah, I think we're both the same in that regard. Like I always need a project to work on, and I'm always working on something. And if I'm not, then I'm like doing drugs and like ruining my own life because I'm not feeling inspired. But when I am feeling inspired, I'm willing to work 45 hours a week and then come home and work even more because it's just a labor of love. We're both just built like that.
Yep.
And to the handful of people out there that understand that, God bless you. We need as much of that as we can in this world.
I think about it too. I'd probably be taking the avenue you're taking and doing more YouTube. Mm-hmm. I liked doing YouTube, but it's video editing. I think is even harder than editing a podcast.
It's a lot. It's definitely very labor intensive.
Yep.
But I love YouTube as a medium. And thanks to doing this show, I've become more comfortable speaking. I think I've developed a pretty decent speaking voice. And then that's, just translating to being on camera and doing what I love, which is storytelling. Everything I will ever do involves storytelling in some form. Sometimes it's going to be about music. Sometimes it'll be about history or politics. Sometimes it'll be about, I don't know, like I've always wanted to tell the story of like, why do really awful brands of liquor exist? And like, just like, companies that make like the bottom shelf vodka, that know that 90% of their customer base is homeless. I want to find out what goes on inside those board meetings.
Yeah, that's good.
So I've had an idea for a podcast where we like talk about those brands and drink them on the air, but that's probably not going to happen anytime soon.
That's a fun idea, man.
Yeah. So yeah, but whether or not episodes of this specific audio show, continue or not, Cal and I are both going to be doing shit. So we hope that somehow it finds you in whatever future the billionaires leave for us.
Feel free to stalk. I don't mind.
Yeah. And on that note, where can they stalk us, Cal, if they so choose?
I guess nowadays YouTube. That's what it sounds like the future is.
Yeah, YouTube is just Polishing Turds. Our Instagram is still going to be active. We still, chat with people. We still post memes and news and shit like that. Instagram is polishing.podcast. And then our email is always going to be active, polishingturdspodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up. And always thank you. And, we never had a consistent sign off.
No. I don't even have a quote loaded up. I didn't think about it.
I'm gonna borrow from the podcast Behind the Bastards. Go to hell, I love you.
You want to talk?
Nothing to say. It's all over.
Not the way I hear it.
Coach, I've got AIDS.